giving you an opportunity to get the full story from the people who tell it best. This is Mediacom News Leaders.
Hello everyone and welcome to Mediacom News Leaders. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Carol Kelly. Joining us today from the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Cedar Valley, we've got Chuck Rowe. Chuck, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Boys and Girls Clubs do great things in the Cedar Valley. You've got 4 locations, almost 5 coming up here, but we've got a capital campaign, more importantly, that we want to chat about. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, it's right around the corner, and it's funny that you say almost 5 locations because we're this close to finishing off a capital campaign that we started probably about a year ago is when we started doing the fundraising for it. It's a $5.5 million capital campaign. And the campaign hits 3 main areas with the club, and it's going to focus on, we have a building that's been there since probably the 40s or 50s it was built. The last time anyone did anything major to it was the early 80s, and so we're going to be doing some restructuring things over there at the old building. Then we're going to be building a brand new teen center, something that this community has never had before, is a standalone teen center just to focus on community youth that have nowhere else to go after school. And then the third area is going to be building an endowment so that teen center is here for decades to come.
And let's talk about the need for this project.
Yeah, so each of those needs, we did a feasibility study with the community, and we interviewed about 40 of the most influential leaders in this community and asked them what they thought about the needs of the Boys and Girls Club and if our needs met their needs and community needs, and we put it all together. And we were able to come up with 3 main projects that met those needs. So for the Lime Street location, the older building I was telling you about, the biggest need was safety and how a lot of the things that we have there are not necessarily things that you would see in schools present day. Like, for instance, we have an old iron and steel playground that you would never see at any school these days. Everything's molded plastic and safer, and we have maybe windows that overlook the second floor that we want to change how that looks and use more of a safety glass and just little things like that. But unfortunately, little things add up to a lot of money. So that's why that's one of the main areas we need to focus on. The other thing is going to be the teen center and how there's not a place for teenagers to go after school. Some of them come to the Boys and Girls Club, but we've really outgrown the space that we have for the teenagers there. And so we did a survey with 1,000 community youth in the area. And something that we found out with Waterloo teenagers, those 1,000 teenagers, is that when we asked them what was the most important thing to have at a teen center, the answer was not like a gym or a game room or some of the things that all the adults thought. It ended up being things like having a place to do homework, having a place to do SAT and ACT prep, and having a place to have resources to learn about what to do once they finish graduating high school. And so that just made us even more learn that we need to have something for those teens. And then the third thing that we talked about during that feasibility study was just making sure that that stuff is there for decades to come, and that's where the endowment comes into play.
So how is the fundraising going so far with the campaign?
Well, our goal was $5.5 million. And right now we're slightly over $5 million. Wow. So like I said, we're almost there, and that's why we're asking the community to just learn more about the campaign. We have a website, togethercedarvalley.com, where there's plenty of information on there and videos where you can learn more about the campaign and get involved.
And another way to raise money, you've got an event coming up. Let's talk about the Harley Party.
Yeah, so the Harley Party is such a fun event. It's something that the community talks about. I mean, I feel like at this point, after 10 years, the Harley Party is something that's up there with just about every other major event. It's like maybe Irish Fest and then Harley Party. That's how popular it's become. And I think the reason why it's so exciting is because it's just like hanging out with your friends. I tell people all the time, it's like when you have a barbecue in your backyard with all your friends, you know everybody, you want to just talk to everybody, have a good time. That's what Harley Party is like. It's very informal. It's a time where you could spend several hours with about 1,000 of your favorite friends. And the fun thing is, at the end of the night, we give a Harley to somebody in the crowd. So, but there'll be live music there. There'll be great silent and live auction items, and it's just a lot of fun, and you don't want to miss out on that.
Where to go for more information and to get your ticket for the Harley Party?
Just go to our website, cedarvalleyclubs.org.
Well, it's always a pleasure, Chuck. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
This has been Mediacom News Leaders, your opportunity to get the full story from the most reliable sources exclusively on Mediacom News Leaders.